yes. So today I will be sharing my experience regarding my academic life, my traveling, my friends, tips and tricks for applying for scholarship, and yes, mainly my experience of studying in Europe. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't. Okay, sorry. So the program that I joined is called Erasmus Mundus Choice Master Degrees. So I think most of you maybe have seen this program before, but I want to explain more. So this program is an international program that they are delivered by multiple higher education institutions across various countries, and not only in Europe, sometimes in America and in Canada as well. So with this program, they provide scholarship for students all around the world. So the scholarship is can go up to 4,500 per year for students within EU country, and it can go up to 9,000 for students from other country outside EU. They also provide the travel cost for between 1,000 to 3,000 per year, and also the stipend for 1,000 per month, maximum of 24 months. So I want to share about my educational experience also. So before, when I was in Laos, I was studying environmental science at the National University of Laos. And during my study in my bachelor, I had the opportunity to join exchange student programs, one semester in Japan and one semester in Korea. And recently, I just got my master degree in global development policy in Erasmus Joint Master Program, which happened in 3 different universities, namely like Pulaski University in Czech Republic and University of Clermont in France and University of Pavia in Italy. So for my trainings and workshop experience, I have been joining quite many programs like before, mainly when I was in my bachelor. When I was in my master, I didn't join that much. And I joined the GCNS Youth Forum in Singapore in 2019. And I also joined like a small YCLI program. I think you have heard about this program because it's like in Southeast Asian, everybody knows. It's the Young Southeast Asian Leader Initiative. So it's from the US government. So I joined that program in Laos, and I joined another program in Thailand. It's about Asean Youth Program. And the biggest program that I joined was YCLI Academic Fellowship. So I went to study in the US for 5 weeks. And so last year, when I was in my master, I joined the UN Climate Change Conference of Youth. So in the UK, the COY 16. And next week, I'm going to join the Regional Conference of Youth in the Philippines also. So I was quite active enjoying programs. And why did I choose this program for my master? It's called Global Development Policy, or we just call it GLODEP for short. So it's the 2-year Joint Master Program in Development Studies. So it was conducted in 3 different universities, as I explained before. And it's not just a master program, but I feel like it's a life-changing program for me. It was amazing. So I'm going to share in each country that I joined. So for the first country, it was the first semester of the program. It was in Czech Republic. So with this semester, they provide the balanced overview of development issues from various perspectives. For example, sustainable development, foresight, development studies, research method, and so on. So mostly the courses for this semester is the overview of the development issues. So in this semester, actually, I was at home in Laos because it was COVID. So we study online mostly. But all of this picture is already when I went there. Yes, Czech Republic was so beautiful, and the city was so cool, so pretty. It's like I don't know, but I really love it. And the next semester was in France. This time I was able to join in person because the COVID was better by that time. So the study mainly, they focus on the quantitative and economic background. They still have sustainable development and economic theory, economic development, and also, of course, the research method. We learn a lot about the quantitative method. And with this semester, I was able to make a lot of friends in person because I love traveling. And in that picture that you see, are my fellow program. So it's like 19 total of us was 19 from 11 countries. So I have learned a lot about the different cultures from different parts of the world, and I got to travel within France. And for the third semester was in Italy. So in Italy was quite different from France because the food, I love the food. It was amazing. Pizza and pasta. You all know that is the original, right? Pizza, pasta, gelato. I love it. And in this semester, we study in a small town. It's close to Milan. So it was like in the north of Italy. And it was a small town, but it's so cozy. And in winter, we went there in winter, so it was a bit cold, but it was amazing because we got to travel and we study. Oh, and for the main courses for this semester was about still economic management and cooperation. And in this semester, they add the food, economic, and agriculture development also. And with this program, you get the advantage because once you got like a student visa in European country, you can travel to any country within Europe. So apart from those 3 countries that I was studying in, I had opportunity to travel to other country as well. So it's like Spain, the Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, Germany, like Austria, Hungary. There are so many. And I got to travel with my friend from the same program. And sometimes I make friends like on my journey. And also, yeah, it was so amazing experience for me. As I have said, it's a life-changing program for me. So for now, I feel like when you're listening, you must feel like, oh, I want to apply, something like that. So I'm going to share like how to apply for this program. It's so easy. You just go to their website. So you just type Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Program, and you can type because they have the category, right? And every year they update the category. So mostly they have 130 program, and sometimes it can go up to 150. And most of the program are about the development, environment, medical, and they have many type of program that can fit you. And once you go in, on different program, they have different requirements, and also the deadline also different. And some program, they ask for working experience and some not. For the program that I joined, they didn't ask for working experience. And one person can choose up to 3 programs. So you can apply up to 3 programs for 1 year. So it's good because if you apply for 3, you don't get one, you may get one. So it's really good. And it open every year around October to January or February. It depends on the program. And each program happen in different countries. Some program they conduct in 4 countries. So it's more than me. And some conduct in 2 countries. So it's also depend. So yes, it was a short presentation from me. And if you have any question, you can contact me. You can ask now, or maybe you have some question later.
Hi, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Maybe, yeah.
So,
his connection now.
question is, how do you prepare yourself to, to get into the programs and scholarship? Also, what do you recommend for us to prepare ourselves to be maybe like best candidate for the scholarship? Thank you.
Hi,
Okay.
I have a problem with my internet connection.
Yes. So do you get the question? If not, yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm asking like, how do you prepare yourself to get scholarships and to get into the program Erasmus, and also maybe what do you recommend us like the way to prepare ourselves to be maybe like kind of well qualified candidates for their scholarship and program?
So, first of all, don't stress yourself because before I got this program, I was applying for many programs, like 4 or 5 already before I got this one. So just think about what you want to study at first, and think about the feasibility of your experience, your interest, if it match with the program that you want to apply. And then you have to find information also, like what are the requirements and what are the deadline. And once you see all the requirement, mostly they ask about the CV and recommendation letters. So you have to find someone that can write you recommendation letters. And of course, the IELTS exam. I think for us, like in Southeast Asian, we really need IELTS exam. And for me, when I was preparing for my IELTS exam, I was also working at that time. So I had only 1 month, and I was like, oh, maybe I wouldn't get it. Maybe I shouldn't even try because it was so short. But then I tried. And so every day I took 2 hours to prepare for the IELTS exam for 1 month. And then I got the exam. And then I got like 7. So I was like, wow. So if I didn't try, I wouldn't know that I would get. So it's like, just believe in yourself and just be prepared. Yeah, of course, be prepared and believe in yourself, but don't stress out. And yeah, so for the tips that I did, I applied for 3 programs at the time because I feel like, okay, if I don't get this one, maybe I get this one. Something like that. I hope it answered to your question.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
From Shai. Shai, do you have any question or concern?
Yes, Tete, I do have a question. Thank you very much for the time. Thank you, Lanoy, for your beautiful presentations. By the way, it's really inspiring, and I believe that we are all learned a lot from it. I do have one question though. Since you are applying for 3 different countries, is it really necessary to be able to speak local language? I mean, is it one of the requirements that needs to be filled out, or do you or everything will be done, all your courses, I mean, will be done in English? And if it's so, if it's English, do you require a English certificate, like proficiency, for example, maybe like IELTS, like you said?
Yeah, so all the courses are in English and they require the IELTS exam. So for my program, as I remember, it was 6. So yeah, at least you need to get like 6 overall for IELTS exam. And in each country, they did have like a small course for the language. For example, in France, we study like 2 hours per week for French class. And in Italy, we also have like 2 weeks, like every day, but 2 weeks. So mainly they just teach us how to like learn just some basic for the daily life, something like that. But it's not required like you have to speak the local language. You just need to have the IELTS certificate, and everything was in English. Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay. Thank you, Lanoy.
No problem.
So any questions or concerns from others?
Hi, I have a question. Okay, so my question is like, did you work the part-time when you were studying in Europe with this scholarship program, or is it eligible for you to work, or like, do you have any opportunities like to work after your studies? I mean, like for like some scholarship programs, like it's a mandatory to come back to your home country after your scholarship. So like, is that something like that in this program as well?
Okay, Sansanmo, thank you for your question. So it's like you can get a part-time job actually when you are studying, but I didn't do any part-time job because we have to move every semester. So we stay in one country for 5 months, but then you move and then you move again. So it's quite hard to find a job. And also they mostly local business, they require you to speak the local language. So I didn't speak French, I didn't speak Italian, so I couldn't find a job. I didn't try, but some of my fellows, they did online job. So with other international organization or something like that, but it was like online job. And for the question that you asked, like if this scholarship asks you to come back home after the program, no, they don't. So you are free to do anything after the program. So it's like a free scholarship for you. You don't have any debt to them. And mostly students, when they go and study there, they get a job in Europe and they continue working in Europe. And some of them go back home to work in their home country also. Yep.
Yeah, I see. Thank you.
I have another question. Follow up with the previous question. So to apply for that, do we need to be in our whole country or can be outside of like Myanmar if we are from Myanmar?
It's like you can be in any country, but it's about your nationality. For example, if you are Vietnamese, you can apply for Vietnam. But if you are Chinese, you can apply for China. So it's like
Yeah, seems like Souliphone has connection down. We shall wait her. I would like to like drop.
Like being to many, you have been in many countries, but like, did you find any difficulties like when you move, like from when you get settled down in one country and then you have to move another? Did you find like any big challenges?
Yes, of course. I faced a lot of difficulties while I was. It's like you pack, unpack, and then pack again. It's like you move every 6 months, for example. And the most difficult thing is to find accommodation because the organizer in some country they didn't provide the accommodation, so you have to find it by yourself. So I was trying to find. I was because the hardest one was in Italy because they give the contract for accommodation for 1 year only. So it's super difficult to find like something like 6 months, something like that. Once you say, oh, I'm going to stay for 1 semester, they will say, no, I wouldn't give you. And yeah, that was so challenging for me. But at the end of the day, I and
From the academic performance, always like what the best candidate would be look like for this program to get that.
in this case, from my personal experience for my program, I think it depend on your background and the program that you are applying. For example, I was studying about environmental development, and my program that I apply, it has something about development and environment also. So I think your previous studies and also your motivation letter also important, because some people they may have different background from what they are applying for, but when they have like good motivation letter and recommendations, then it can push the chance to get the program into the program. Yeah. But it also depends. For example, some programs say, okay, you need 1 year's experience of working or 2 years, but you don't have it. So it's also lower your chance to get into the program also. So mainly I suggest you to look at the requirements. And when you meet all the requirements, then you get a chance to get. Mm-hmm. And I also see another question on the chat. Yeah. Did I answer to your questions, Jeff?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we have questions in the chat. Do you read it?
Yes, it's from Papon Buluvi. I know it's from Laos. So yeah, and she asked about most university require B2 for IELTS, but they will accept 6. How about 5.5? So can I apply? I think it, as I said, it depends on the requirements of the program. Some program, they ask only 5.5. And some, they ask only 5, even lower. And in some programs, the requirement can be like 7, 7.5. So it also depends on the program that you are applying for. Miss Papon. No problem.
Okay. So is there any questions? By the way, can you see me? Because
I
my
can.
connection is really down. I'm not sure if you guys can see me or not. Okay. So is there any questions from other attendees?
Maybe I can share about which country has the best food.
Yeah, you already mentioned about it. You
Yeah.
said, yeah.
Now I'm thinking what I should say more.
Okay. So if not, shall we say goodbye and end the event? Okay, I will wait a little bit, like 1 to 5 seconds. Should I count down like 1, 2, 3? If you have questions, you can ask to her directly right now. This is kind of a chance. Or not related with the events. If you have questions, other things related to other things, you can also ask here. So if not, it's time to say and end the event. Can you share the records? Yes, of course. I will provide you via your email. It's better if you drop down your email in personal Zoom chat to me. Okay. You can share your personal mail to me via the private Zoom chat. Okay, slides. Okay, you could also share me your email. Please also share your email. I will send it to you. Or I could send to all of you guys after the event, the recording and the slides. So please wait, I have to make them notes down. Yeah, so Lanoy, how about living in the Czech Republic? I'm thinking to have a study abroad there. Yeah, so yeah, you could share a little bit about. Also, like I am planning to live in Prague, the city.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could share anything you want.
In Czech Republic, one thing that I like about it is that it's cheaper than other European countries.
Yeah, I got the point.
Yes, and if you are living in Prague, it's like you are in a heaven.
Heaven,
Because
okay.
it's beautiful and
Really?
you
Yeah.
have a lot of places to go. I think I've been in Prague for 4 or 5 times already.
Oh,
I've been
really?
there a lot because I like it. And it's beautiful. It has own town, which has like many own buildings and everything was nice. But it's quite a bit clouded because it's touristic city.
It's like
Everyone,
every day raining and cloudy like that, the weather is.
the weather now is not that raining, but before, I mean in May, June, something like that. It was
Yeah.
raining quite a lot. But in winter,
see.
it was so cold. In winter, you have to prepare.
They also have like Charles Bridge, right? I'm kind of interested with it. The
Yeah,
bridge one.
it's nice.
Yeah.
And the food also nice. But
Really?
I prefer Italian food.
Okay.
But I found some nice food also in Czech Republic. And
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Their beer is also like famous one, right?
Yeah,
But I'm not fond of beer, to be honest.
Don't drink it,
you
baby.
try.
Yeah, I will.
And try beer, yes, of course. And yeah, nice looking guy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe. But they are like very different from the Asians,
Yeah,
Asian body structure. And so, yeah, maybe they will be too big for us. Maybe we are Asian, so.
they are tall and
Oh,
white.
yeah.
So tall, yeah, they are so tall. But yeah, you can explore. I'm sure
Okay.
you can explore anything.
Okay, then. Yeah, that's a good advice. Maybe. Okay. Yeah. So I'm waiting some questions, by the way. If not,
I saw another question. Is can you share how you can balance your study and travel? Yeah, it's a good question.
yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like, oh, I travel too much. I have to come back and study. And yeah, mostly when I study, I only study. I don't travel at all. You saw like many pictures and stuff like that. It was during summer, during spring break or something. like that. So I only travel when there is a break. But I did travel like not too far on weekends, Saturday, Sundays, something close to the city that I was living in. And sometimes it's hard. Like to be honest, there was sometimes that my friend, they all want to travel, but it's like we had one class at that day. So I think it was bad, and I don't recommend you to do this. But we did that. We travel, and then but we did send the email to the professor explaining, and after we came back, we had another additional class, like for that class, just to redeem for that class. So I mean, studying is not just like, oh, I have to be the best, or I have to study hard for my future. It's like you have to enjoy life as well. So like it's not easy to find the balance point for like studying and traveling. But I mean, uh you will find it. Like at the end of the day, you will find the point where you feel like, oh, I'm studying too much, I should go somewhere, because I really have to go somewhere. And sometimes when you travel too much, you will feel guilty, like, oh no, I have to go back and study. But for me, it's life. So just like enjoy, like have fun, learn, because it's like traveling is also learning, but it's not in the class. It's learning outside the class. When you go see something, you learn something new. So yeah, study and traveling, but don't study too much and don't travel too much also. And yes, just enjoy life, because this program is not like just go and study. It's also a chance for you to travel, to meet people, to make connections, to experience life. Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, totally on your side, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. By the way, is it really correct to call you Lanoy, the pronunciation?
We call Lanoy, yes. Mostly
Lanoy,
people
right?
call me Lanoy.
Sorry, yeah.
No problem.
Um,
Another question.
it's about thesis, I guess.
Oh yes, I didn't explain about my thesis. Uh, for the thesis, so first 3 semester you study, right, in that 3 countries, and then the last semester you have to do your internship and thesis. But for the internship, it was not compulsory. So if you don't get any internship, it's fine. And for me, I didn't do any internship because I feel like I want to dedicate all my time, my energy on my thesis. And for the thesis, first you have to have an idea of what you want to do. And then you will have to find the supervisor by yourself. So they will send you the list of the 3 universities and the name of the professor in each university that can be the supervisors, and also their what is that, their main subject or their main topic that they are doing, or they're expert with a certain topic. And then, for example, oh, I'm thinking, oh, I want to do something about the environmental policies, something about environment. You have to go and find on the list, and then you have to contact the supervisor by yourself. So it was quite hard for me because I I used to ask some professor, and I was quite a bit late, and they already have some student already that they are supervising. So I didn't get those professor. And at the end, I could find the professor that really matched with my topic. And then it was, I mean, yeah, you have to find the topic as soon as possible. So most people they did during third semester they already have their idea of what they're gonna do for their thesis. So but yes, you don't have to have the topic before you apply. It's not necessary because the thesis will come like the third semester. You will have to brainstorm of what you want to do, so don't have to stress about the thesis when you are applying for the program. Thanks for sharing. No problem.
They are also thanking you for joining as a guest speaker.
I'm so happy to be here. Actually, you can also ask me later.
Yeah, later I will ask you. For now, I have that much questions pop up in my mind so far. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's already long enough for the event. So shall we end and say goodbye? And also thank you everyone for attending this event. Yeah, I really appreciate it and thank you really. So shall we meet in the next event? So yeah, bye-bye for today. Have a great evening.
So
okay.
Bye bye.
Yes, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.